After suffering the first loss of the season, SC returns home to the Coliseum to try and take their frustrations out on the Wisconsin Badgers. So many storylines are at the top of our minds this week. The return of Alex Grinch, the return of Tackett Curtis, and the quest to get our first Big Ten conference win continues. It's USC, it's Wisconsin, first Big Ten home game, game preview number 4. Let's go. What's up, guys? My name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the Wisconsin game preview. Still so proud of our guys for how hard they fought in Ann Arbor and very much looking forward to seeing them back out on the field again. Wisconsin is a program I have a massive amount of respect and admiration for. Really have always appreciated how they do things up there in Madison. This is one of those matchups I know I circled when the schedule came out. So yeah, very excited about this one. And before we do get into the preview today, I do want to shout out today's video sponsor, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a ticketing service that takes tickets from all over the web and puts them into one very easy to find place. It is truly your one-stop shop for football tickets, basketball, baseball, hockey, you name it, you'll find it on SeatGeek. They even grade every single listing on a scale from 1 to 10, so you know if you're getting a fair deal or not. And now SeatGeek is hooking my subscribers up with $20 off your first order when you use my promo code TrojanBlade at checkout. Thank you so much, SeatGeek. Now let's get into the preview. So as always, let's dive in here and meet the Wisconsin Badgers. I do want to shout out my good friend Big Ten Ted for helping me with this preview. He's a Badger fan, and guys, I cannot recommend his channel enough. The best Big Ten content anywhere by a country mile. If there's anything you want to know about a Big Ten team, Big Ten Ted is the place to find it. All his socials are linked in the description. But starting with the head coach, the head man in Madison is of course Luke Fickell. There was a time back in 2021 when a lot of people had Luke Fickell as the #1 target for the USC job. Thinking back to that time, I still can't believe we ended up with Lincoln Riley. I thought for sure it was going to be Matt Campbell. But back to Luke, this is turning out to be more of a rebuild than I think most Wisconsin fans thought it would be. They've had struggles in all 3 games so far this season against South Dakota, Western Michigan, and of course Alabama. When you turn on the games and you watch this Wisconsin team, it's really odd seeing their offensive line not be completely dominant, seeing the front 7 on defense get blasted off the ball. This definitely isn't the version of Wisconsin I've grown accustomed to seeing. But now moving over and meeting the Wisconsin offense, this group is led by Phil Longo. His offense is classified as an air raid style offense called the Dairy Raid by Wisconsin fans. But when I watch this offense, I don't really see that. This is an offense that doesn't really show a clear identity. They run it a ton and they want to use those easy zone finding air raid principles, but things just look clunky. It's a very strange offense to watch in my personal opinion. The quarterback was, of course, former Miami Hurricane Tyler Van Dyke, but sadly for him, he got hurt in that first quarter against Bama and his season is done. Now, once again, Braden Locke is stepping in as an injury fill-in for Wisconsin. He had to do this last year as well for about 3.5 games. Now, Locke is somebody who knows this system inside and out, and he is somebody whose teammates have a ton of faith in. He struggled coming off the bench against Alabama, not that you can really blame him in that scenario. He fumbled twice, he's very limited as an athlete, he's not going to hurt you with his legs too often. And look, this is a guy you can get turnovers from. 3 turnover-worthy plays against Bama, had 7 overall last year. Confuse him, pressure him, hit him. This is what we need to do to get turnovers in this game. I think we're going to be able to score on this Badger defense, so if we can get some turnovers early, we might be able to land that knockout shot earlier than expected. Now, while there isn't a Monty Ball or a Big Ron Dane or Melvin Gordon in the running back room, there are 3 backs that are pretty solid, with Ches Malusi being the standout and the guy with the most usage so far. Wideout-wise, we will see our old friend CJ Williams on the field for the Badgers. He really hasn't broken out yet for Wisconsin, but no doubt he'll be incredibly motivated in this one. But the main guy you need to know is productive slot wideout Will Pauling. They force feed this guy the ball. He leads the team with 29 targets. The next closest amount is 13, so there's a big discrepancy there. This guy is a zone killer, very smart player, and in this makeshift air raid scheme, he is very skilled at finding open grass like we used to hear every week from Graham Harrell. And Braden Locke trusts this guy, so look for him to target him early and often. The tight end position hasn't played much of a factor in this offense up to this point, so nothing really to watch for there. Now the O-line for the Badgers. They're absolutely massive. That hasn't changed. These are the listed heights and weights of the 5 starters. 6'5", 313, 6'4", 302, 6'7", 316, 6'5", 310, and 6'8", 308. Some massive humans along that line. Now with that size, you would expect them to be a really dominant run blocking line. Not the case so far this year. Definitely a better pass blocking line, but I do think our guys could have some success in that part of the field. I assume we're going to come out in that 5-man front we showed a bunch against Michigan. And if we can do that and take the run away, I think we're set up for success against Wisconsin. So yeah, overall, this is a struggling offense without a clear identity, but man, it's still Wisconsin. They're still a physical group. SC has to keep up with what we've been seeing on the defensive side of the ball and shut them down. We have the talent to do that. We have the coaching staff to do that. And funnily enough, at this point in the year, I'm much more confident in the Trojan defense than I am in the offense. They call college football a year-to-year sport, and man, they're not wrong about that. Okay, now talking about the Wisconsin defense, this is the part that really shocked me when I watched their game against Bama. The front seven looks small and slow. Compare this to Wisconsin's front 5 or 6 years ago, and it's crazy. But it's Luke Fickell, it's Wisconsin. I have zero concerns that they'll get it fixed here in a year or two. But man, I watched the South Dakota game, and Wisconsin's front was getting popped off the ball a lot more often than they should be. It happened against Western, Bama as well. Now, in their defense, before the season started, Wisconsin did lose their best defensive lineman in James Thompson Jr. to a season-ending injury, and this group has really struggled to replace his production this far into the season. But moving to the linebackers, let's talk about Tackett Curtis. First off, our players have to have their heads on a swivel with this guy. You remember in that Nevada game last year when he got ejected for targeting, and then proceeded to post a whole hype video of the hit even though he hurt the team by being thrown out. He plays recklessly, he's not afraid to cheap shot people, and our guys have to be aware of that. He was on the field more against Bama than he had been in the first 2 games. He wasn't great in that game, but Wisconsin does run a 2-down lineman scheme, so you'll be seeing a lot of Tackett in this game. They have a lot of linebackers out there on the field, and that makes sense actually because the backers and the secondary for that matter are much better units than the defensive line. The defensive line is, in my opinion, the biggest weakness of the entire team for Wisconsin. Now, talking about the secondary, while they're very technically sound, they do struggle with vertical speed. See Ryan Williams for Alabama. They could not keep up with him at all. This is a game where Deuce Robinson has to be a major factor. I went back and watched our offense against both LSU and Michigan, and Deuce has been getting more separation than any other wideout we have. He's too big, he's too fast, we must make him a bigger part of the offense. Only 7 targets through 3 games is not enough in my opinion, and this is a perfect opportunity to actually get him the ball. Zachariah could also have a field day in this one as well. But of course, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Alex Grinch is going to be back in the LA Coliseum. It was made clear by multiple players last year how they felt about Grinch. You've heard guys even take some not so subtle shots at him this year. Needless to say, I think it's going to be very personal for a lot of these guys. I know I'm going to be fired up for it. Grinch cost us so much over the last few years. Beating down his Badgers and torching that secondary would be a very nice feeling to have. But yeah, overall, with the Wisconsin defense, the front is bad, the rest of the defense is actually pretty good. The offense has to get back into rhythm in this game from the jump. No starting slow, no early 3 and outs. Let's get after these guys. All right, now let's head over to G's Keys and then we'll do score predictions. All right, G's Keys, starting off here with the offense. Number 1 is run the ball. Wisconsin's number 1 goal on defense is going to be to take away the run game for us. And if we can defeat them there and assert our will in the run game, that's going to open up everything else in this offense, and I think they're going to have a really hard time stopping us. Number 2 is Deuces. Just talked about it. We have to get Deuce Robinson the ball. By far the most separation on the team through the first 3 games. He's a matchup nightmare. His route running has improved drastically. Would love to see him get the ball more. Number 3 is O-line bounce back. This is a great get-right game for the Trojan offensive line. There's not too many years you're going to be catching Wisconsin with this bad of a defensive front, so get after it in this game, attack them, don't be afraid, run the ball, protect Miller. Very excited to see that confidence get rebuilt a bit for this Trojan offensive line. Now defense, number 1, no explosives. What cost us the game last week? The explosive plays. Our run defense was great for about 85% of that game, but you cannot give up those explosive runs. You just can't do it. So this week, I don't want to see any explosive runs. Let's bottle them up in the pass game. We're more talented than they are. I think we're better coached than they are. So let's go out and shut this Wisconsin offense down. And number 2, lock up. We have to get after Braden Locke. We have to blur the picture that he's seeing on the field. We have to confuse him. Don't let this passing game get into a rhythm all day. If we can take away the passing lanes in the middle of the field and force him to play outside the numbers, I think we're going to be in a great spot defensively. And number 3 is an obvious one, it's turnovers. Locke is a guy that's going to put the ball in harm's way. He's going to fumble the ball. When those things happen, you have to take advantage of it. Because again, if we can give our offense some extra possessions in this game, this one could be over by the 3rd quarter. All right, guys, those were G's Keys. Now let's get to the score prediction. At the time of this recording, USC is a 15.5-point favorite, and that is where I see this one going. I have the SC offense starting hot. I have us getting a few turnovers along the way, and I have SC winning this one 38-20. As always, guys, please do let me know your score predictions down below in the comments. All right, so that'll do it for this week's game preview. Very excited to see our guys out in the field once again. If you guys did happen to enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for all the support. You're all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on. Beat the Badgers.